Okay. Yesterday,
Yes, ma'am.
Chris
Mm-hmm.
paid $200 real quick. Try to get all because I usually get out of here. I got on my way to work. He sent me the email. The email said room 16 paid by another credit card, and the rep was someone named Jasmine. He sent it twice, and the same email kept coming up. And then I scrolled down because sometimes I don't check my email. I say, send me the email.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't check the email. And I just assume the
Right.
receipt is there. But I checked it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not me. And the credit card number wasn't me. And you have some tissue?
Yeah.
Okay. And the credit card wasn't me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stay. But I said I'm going to mention it, and then because I wanted to tell you about it.
Yeah, I'm looking into it.
And because I was going to ask you also. Right now, he said that it shows positive $403. Anyway, the email, the receipt said the person with the credit card number, I think 1390 or 1360, and the rep was Jasmine, paid $60 on the 13th of September. And I don't know, but I got the email, and he even walked down there with this, I think it was something like this, or this one, or to show me. And we pulled up my email. He said, "You're right. I don't know why it's coming this way." He said, the email he sent me.
Do you mind sending that to this email on here so I can see it? Because as of right now, there's no payments that was taken from your account on September 13th.
All right.
So that's weird.
Right. Because I even looked at my receipts. I was like, I didn't pay anything on the 13th.
Yeah.
But it showed the receipt that was sent. It said room 116. That's the issue. It said room 116. And if it didn't say room 116, I guess I'll be like, okay, that could be a mistake. Another email was sent by mistake to another. They should have went to another room, but it has the room number 116. I've been in this room since.
I know you've been here for a minute.
Yeah, since August of 2016.
Right.
So okay, so Shayla.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to talk to you because he said it says I'm positive $403, but I know this. I missed a day, and I'm gonna talk to you about arrangements because I don't want to wait, and I'm very sincere about it.
I understand.
And I want about arrangement payments.
Tomorrow?
Yes. Are you gonna be here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll talk then.
All right, and the reason why this is so important because I was thinking it's fraud.
Yeah.
Someone could come and say that credit card was stolen. It was used. Did you? And I was just so happened. It just so happened. I checked, because a lot of times, I've been here for years now. So I'm like, okay, the email's there. I have my paper receipt. And I haven't had really issues. Well, one time I did see an email that was sent I figured by mistake, but it didn't say room 116, so I didn't worry about it. This was a long, long, long time ago, so I didn't worry about it. But this one says room 116. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. Okay, Islam. This is extended stay. This is where I live. I'm on Arrington-Bey. This is my path to work. I'm walking fast. I have to be at work at 10, from 10 to 4. This is a black Negro driving. I guess he's trying to get out. As I walked out of the stand, I'm feeling a 4-sharp pain in my left leg. Pale skin walked behind me. I don't know if I should have done that. Well, it could be a receipt. Okay, this is my walk to work. There's American Independence Day. It is September the 25th, 2021. For a lot of mornings on my way to work, believe it or not, I see usually pale skinned walkers coming towards this way. Sometimes with dogs. It's like all of a sudden I see one, you know, it's like I turn the corner, that person turned the corner, walking towards this way. There's Dunkin' Donuts. I usually go there to upload videos. They have a quicker Wi-Fi, it seems, than American Independence Day. It only takes hardly takes long at all. I had a forced manipulated dream. Of Asians attacking. Still hearing the feedback of African American, Black, Negro around the room, male, and Spanish speaking. A couple of days ago, I woke up and these unclean spirits that looked to be from Mexico or Spanish speaking were attacking. And I heard Black, Negro, male, and female exits around the room. September the 22nd, 2021. This sound like a pale skin lady, or I'm not sure, it could have been, but a female accent walked in front of the door. Imani, Ray Bay, and I were in the room, and he said I heard Burger King, definitely, but he said he called. It's not like he heard burger, but he didn't hear the King part. And I'm not accusing Burger King, but this is what I experienced. That's the plaza I cross every morning. Walk past. That's the area where I say a sacred prayer a lot of times. Then I'm about to cross the street. Thanks. I'm on the Arrington-Bey. Feeling the 4 sharp pain in my left ankle. I'm in Annapolis, Maryland. That's American Senate State in Annapolis, Maryland. Imani Grebe and I, we do not have the telepathic code. So we cannot send 4 sharp pains, nor can we rape or molest someone in the open or in their sleep. We reject the telepathic code as Moorish Americans. We cannot invade the mental space forcefully and spiritual possess in that manner. We have a code that have the strand of animal DNA. You have a bunch of animals. It's what animal state of mind, or a population of animal state of mind, instead of a civilized human state of mind. So you have an entity that literally has transformed the consciousness and the state of mind of human beings into animals, into an animal state. And so if they're outside of constitutional law, their government see them and identify them as animals, chattel property. Not only the government identify them as such, they'll prove it and say we gave them the science of telepathy that has dog, ape, beast DNA. They are animals. Not only will they have them classified and identified cosmically, some people say galactic, as animals, but they'll say we can prove that they animals. We mix that strand with animal DNA, and it has bond with their DNA. They are animals. So we have to treat them this way because we know what they're capable of. We give them privileges because we know we know they are animals and what they're capable of. So we have to force and mandate laws, color of laws, upon the animals. And so that's exactly what's being done. And they're using what they have given to a population of people to do it, a science that are outside of constitutional law. While they're telling them, don't speak about the telepathic code, they're using the science of the telepathic code that they mix with animal strands of DNA to mandate. The executive president cannot mandate law, but he's using it to mandate, or other places using it to mandate and give them privileges because they're using what they mix that telepathic code with to do it. And they're telling the people, do not speak about the telepathic code, while they're using that science of animal DNA to treat them and take away their constitutional rights. To treat them as animals and take away their constitutional rights. This is the pale skin, or they like to say white. You know, white is not a nationality. You have to claim a nationality in order to be in the constitutional fold. When you say you are white or white American, that lets those that know law know you are not in the constitutional fold. You have privileges and not rights. And also, it lets those who are cosmically in knowledge know that you possibly have a strand of telepathic code that's mixed with ape and dog DNA. So while the pale skin who don't have a nationality cannot talk about the telepathic code because they under the same rules and privileges as anyone else, they are being, that which gave them the telepathic code is using the science that they mix with dog and ape DNA to enslave them, control them, and take away their constitutional rights. They're saying we can prove that they're animals. And we know how they think. We know what they're capable of. This is why we have to do it, and that's what they're using. There are animals that we have given an education to, slaves. They have a car, they have a house, but nonetheless, we know that they are animals. Okay, this is the, look, here's a fire truck, but the sirens are not on. Melanated, look like Mexican or somebody from South America driving it. Number 35. Many times out of the ordinary, these fire trucks and ambulance They drive back and forth. They look like they're from Central South America, possibly Mexico, I'm not sure. But they were melanated in that manner, that phenotype. In Annapolis, these fire trucks and ambulance, oddly, I mean, you would think there's a fire a lot in Annapolis. But they're driving back and forth with their sirens loud. And ambulance, you have sick people supposedly. But just a thought, what if that's just being used to emphasize some form of rule? Because they know, once again, they cannot speak about the telepathic code. So they got to give a rule to the animals. Because they don't have constitutional law. And then tell the animals, you have a culture. And then tell the animals, you have a culture. This is to help you evolve. Look how well your babies are behaving. Look how your children are behaving. So many people are taking their children out of school and homeschooling them because the teachers are teaching sex education to 6 and 7-year-olds. Now, why would teachers have to speak of sex education in an advanced manner to 6 and 7-year-olds? I 6 and 7-year-old. I knew my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but sex. In California, they made it legal, for what I remember reading, for 9-year-olds to be prostitutes. I think 19-year-olds to be prostitutes in California and other countries where prostitution is legalized. So if these kids have the telepathic code, and as you know, and I've given testimony, those that have the telepathic code rape, molest, and dreams. And so these kids being raped and molested, and it's being normalized, because if they're molesting in the open, I've given testimony of experiencing molestation, and kids are there with their parents watching. Okay, once again, a government know they have animals. They know what's in the telepathic code in each strand, and they know they created animals. So if kids, there's a police that says the United States Navy, if the kids witness, they were born with the telepathic code, and all their lives they witness some form of sexual activity towards them, or seeing someone else being molested and raped spiritually and mentally. These kids, they in public school, and if it's been normalized, they're probably doing the exact same thing. They're probably doing it in the schools. So what I notice is they're talking about people not wanting to send their kids to school because of the coronavirus. because of the COVID-19 vaccine. But they're not talking about the telepathic code and these kids witnessing molestations. They're born with the telepathic code, have experienced rape, molestations, and probably are doing these such things in school. So they're saying people don't want to send their children to public schools anymore. They want to homeschool them because they try to protect their children from coronavirus. The coronavirus that seemed to have came out of nowhere, like HIV. This one says United States Army, Mom. Like the HIV virus, and it became a pandemic. Many people died. I want to say in the millions when you think of pandemic all around the earth. Then they implemented the vaccine and more people died from the vaccine. You had doctors protesting and they actually lost their license. Some of them, their license were suspended because they refused to give their patients the vaccine. So they are talking about how parents don't want to send their children to school because of the coronavirus. And so they're homeschooling more now. But they're not talking about is the science of telepathy and what that science of telepathy allows people to do and the different strands that are in the science of telepathy that they can mix with the DNA. One Chinese scientist, I have the video, he speaks about how he can create any life. He says he can create any life. This is my path right here. I'm going to turn around. See, there's Whole Foods, and there's the building there. Once again, there's Whole Foods, Boat Lock, and Caller. Okay. A lot of times when I'm at American Center Safe, I feel
trouble connecting to the internet. Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
When I feel a force sharp pain, hold on, a Spanish accent, like a male accent. This is where the Mexican looked to be Mexican. I'm not sure where he was from. Was laying in the grass. The night, that early morning or that night before. Unclean spirits that had a Spanish accent and visuals of those that look to be from Mexico, or dark brown in that phenotype. These are unclean spirits I speak of, were attacking Imani and I, or speaking in the room. And that's also where I would see feathers sometimes. Well, since I started to pick them up, they have decreased, and I started to videotape. So they're not talking about how these children, here is it looked like a tag that you can, I see a lot of these that you can create in the back and in your basement, in the basement of your house. Look like you could go down in your basement and create the tag. This is the marijuana building that sells medicinal marijuana. A lot of times when these buses drive by, it's called gold leaf. I was told it's medicinal. It's like you hear strong feedback when these buses in Annapolis drive by.
Oh yeah,
Predominantly, bus drivers are black males that drive those type of buses that I just saw. Like a feedback combining with the engine of the bus. Sound like an animal. Literally like an animal. So, if you already know that you part animal and part beast, this guy looks like a customer that comes. Yep, he is a customer that comes in the Burger King. I've been seeing him coming to. No, is he? Yeah, I don't know. He might be. He's looking very hard. He looks like a customer that comes in the Burger King. He looks like, I'm not sure if it's him. If you already know you part animal, something is wrong with you. Not only that, you disease. Annapolis, it's suggested that Annapolis have a very high rate of venereal diseases. There's a Chick-fil-A car. A lot of times I see these Chick-fil-A cars. You go ahead. And someone might speak at church or send an energy about Christianity or church when it's Chick-fil-A cars drive by. Chick-fil-A is across from that area. That where, not too far from that area where the grassy plain is, where I saw the Mexican laying on the ground. Not only that, but you're diseased because you having sex like animals. You are literally you using the they gave you the telepathic code, because with the telepathic code you can seduce, spiritually possess someone. So you having sex like animals, literally. And then herpes is placed in the population. You're having sex like animals. You're among unclean spirits that can possess your mind, give you a sexual feeling, and then they put herpes or another venereal disease in a population. That venereal disease will spread like wildfire. That venereal disease will spread fast, like it's nothing. And then normalize, because they say herpes has no cure and some other venereal diseases have no cure, through thoughts and emotions, like normalizing acts of terrorism, normalizing having a disease, normalizing being sick or being among unclean spirits that deliberately spread viruses, bacteria, attack someone's immune system, cause them to itch, give them a heat sensation, normalizing. A lot of times I see like this, he looked to be Hispanic. You see he got one foot sticking out. He got a mask on, he's outside. I see this on my path to work. Normalizing being among unclean, unnatural spirits that can make you itch, give you a heat sensation on your body, cause you to cough. The coughing is a symptom that they say of coronavirus. So if one of these spirits, or many of these spirits, are released in a population to attack the immune system of the inhabitants of the earth, attack the immune system, spreading diseases, and then instead of them people fighting back, they have given the telepathic code as a program. They start normalizing it and saying, look, these experiments, these laboratory experiments, they from the stars. This is space. These laboratory disease abomination experiments that causing masses of people to be sick. And have sexual diseases, causing the children to behave like animals and witness these horrific acts. So now you have millions of people dying, have died from the coronavirus, and you have people, millions are protesting. But because they have the code, you notice they don't speak about the code, but they're protesting. Why are they protesting? Because they're trying their best to protest with everything they have without speaking about the telepathic code. Because they have it. But they protest in other ways. You have people in France. You have people in Australia, people in South Africa, people in Greece. Someone left this stuff here. You have people in the Asian countries, they are protesting. But they're not speaking about the telepathic code. And they're saying they want their rights. They want rights. They want their rights, and they don't want to have privileges. That's what they're saying. Because they didn't realize possibly they had lost their rights when they accepted a form of the telepathic code that has animal DNA, and they didn't get back into their organic, natural laws. Animal DNA. And so, for example, in Australia, they are treating the people like animals, literally animals that are unvaccinated. How are they able to do such things and look to be getting away with it?